Yeah, buddy, what is up? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is Mascotology Round 2, the podcast broadcast. Here we go. It is, what is this? We're in the middle of March already? I can't believe it. It is the official 2024 NFL offseason. We are doing the Mascotology Round 2 tonight. Round 2. So hopefully you've seen, a two-part show, I guess, for round 1. We had round 1 and round 1.5. And some good stuff in there. We had some bloopers. We had some excellent stuff come through. And I think the shows went well. I enjoyed those shows, and I'm looking forward to this one. There's a lot to talk about, but before we get started, please do us a favor, minimize that screen, hit that like button first and foremost. That helped. In fact, I'm going to do it right here. YouTube allows you to cheat. You can like your own video. I know it's sad, but that's how much every like matters to us, that I will even go out and like my own stupid stuff because I want the likes and all that, because it helps the algorithm. It helps our stuff get out there. So if you would, like I said, minimize that screen, hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber, thanks for checking us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, all those good things. And most of all, we do this show live, and we are live right now. So if you are in the comments, light those things up. Let us know how your week was. Let us know how your week is. Let us know what's going on this weekend, and let us know your thoughts on Mascotology Round 2. Now, I keep talking about saying we and all this stuff, but all you see is me, and that's because I haven't brought on the one, the only, the creator of Mascotology, the ag man himself, Sir Andrew. How are you, brother? Welcome.
Oh, thank goodness it is Friday. Holy cow.
Man,
we're back.
I tell you what, it is good to have you back. This is, well, I don't know. My wife might be listening, so I should be careful, but this is the best part of my week, man. I look forward to this so much.
Oh, it's
and
so
I like
fun.
doing these shows on Friday, although I think our viewership might maybe wane a little bit on a Friday evening because other people have things to do, which is more than understandable. But I enjoy doing it on a Friday because it's like the entry into the weekend, man. It's like
it is. It's great.
There's no more after this. This is it. It's like, all right, now let's kick back and let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. This is the start of it. This is
exactly
good
what
time
it is.
101. That's what this is. So, excuse me, I'm holding back a burp. Anyway, how was your week, dude? How was your week? You were busy.
It was a long week. It was a busy, long week. Just getting prepped for about 2 weeks out now is my big event of the year. And then it's going to be over, and then I go to the next big event of the year, and then I get to breathe a little bit.
And
so it's
what are
just
those big
ramp-up time.
events? Because you're an ag teacher, for those
yes.
who may be watching this first video. This is their first one they've watched. You're an ag teacher in Montana. You're fresh out of Montana State University, our alma mater.
Yes,
I
go
went
Cats.
there many moons ago. Go Cats, go! My son is there right now. Hopefully, he's watching tonight. But anyway, you're an ag teacher in Montana, but you do a whole lot more because you but you do some stuff with what I know as Future Farmers of America. I think it's called something else though. What?
It essentially is still the same thing. They just made tweaks to the name, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
What is
but
it?
Yes, I am. They changed it. So I am the FFA advisor, FFA Future Farmers of America. That's what most people know it as.
Yeah.
In the 80s, they changed it from Future Farmers of America to the National FFA organization because agriculture grew and expanded so much since it was started. So things have changed, and they wanted to reflect those changes. So that's why it's just now the National FFA organization.
Okay.
But everybody still pretty much knows it as Future Farmers, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
And
our
you are
state convention is coming up.
You're the what again of?
I am the advisor of that.
For
is what that role is called.
Montana, or for just
For
your
my
county?
school. For the chapter at my school.
Okay.
Any ag teacher, or most ag teachers, are also the FFA advisors at their school. There is a state advisor putting for the whole thing.
Okay.
And I was actually under his direct supervision when I was a state FFA officer when I was just going into college.
Okay.
That was like a student member who's not in high school but is leading the youth part of it. I was on a team my freshman year of college. It was also the COVID year, so we didn't get our convention, which is what's coming up.
Oh, okay.
And that's the big hurrah finale of the year for competitions, and it's a lot and it's expensive. So I've just been planning and trying to figure that out, and I think I got it mostly figured out. So we're good. We're about a week and a half out from that now. So
now after that, do you get to kind of kick back for a little bit, like a real teacher, so to speak? You know,
a little bit. Not a whole lot, but you know what? That comes with the job, and I signed up for it. But we get to kick back a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough.
More time for DTD.
Nonetheless, you're here now, and I'm excited about it. So, and we're excited for you guys in the comments. Katie, we see you out there. It looks like you might be our only one. Hey! But
she waves back, even though she knows.
That is, we see it. We see it. Anyway, so we are here to talk about football. We have Mascotology round 2. Now, I know you built the stuff for it, and I had to put it into the system. So I have seen it, but I intentionally, since that moment, have not gone back to it. So to be quite honest, it's not fresh look for me. It's not fresh information, but it's as close as we could get with me being the builder of the show at this point. So
fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. But before we do that, the NFL continued after our show, during our show last week, to just be absolute mayhem.
It did.
There's been too many things to talk about, too many things to put into graphics. So I've made one in particular, and it is the Steelers graphic, which I sent you.
Yes, you did.
Which the Steelers have a couple new quarterbacks. The one is Russell Wilson, who I also saw as a meme that the Steelers got a sweet deal on a 2008 Land Rover with 180,000 miles on it, So, with 180,000 miles on it. I don't know if you heard
for
that
only
part.
$1 million too.
Yeah, because he's still getting paid from the Broncos big time.
Oh God.
And then Justin Fields, who was a number 1 pick not that long ago. And his team has since had 2 more number 1 picks, haven't they? Is this the second time they've had the number 1 since him?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, they were up there last year, and they got number 1 this year. And I guess it is plain as day. They are going after Caleb Williams.
The Bears are going for Caleb Williams. Yeah, it's almost a lock at this point.
Which he's been kind of a little bit of a mystery, dude.
The most recent thing on the internet, I saw it yesterday and today, was he was walking out in his pro day, and Keenan Allen, I'm sorry to, twist the knife, but that's how NFL stuff works. Former Chargers receiver, now current Bears receiver, was at his pro day, and Caleb Williams was walking by like he didn't even see him. And he was on purpose. You could tell he was looking totally different and just walking away from him. It's like, dude, what is going on?
Dude, I don't know what this Caleb Williams. He's not doing himself any favors when it comes to the NFL draft, dude.
Oh no, he's not.
Not at all. He's not doing medical. He's not. I mean, the dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's just making a fool of himself. I think it appears so. So anyway. Hey, I forgot to turn off my little air filter in here, and so all I can hear is this thing going through my mic. So talk to the people for a good second while I roll over there and shut that stupid thing off.
I guess I don't really know what to say to the people besides we kind of called it last week. We said we needed a backup quarterback in Pittsburgh somehow, and it's Justin Fields now. So we kind of called it. you can give us credit, even though we were just kind of following what the experts, because we are by no means experts, what they were saying, and it kind of worked out. So Justin Fields is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, and now there's no quarterback in Chicago, but we already discussed that.
Yeah, and then there's thank you, by the way. And then there's also what's the quarterback situation in your neck of the wood? Well, not your neck of the woods, but for your team, the Minnesota Vikings.
My team, I don't know. We have Sam Darnold. I think he's a solid enough QB to say we have someone to start day one.
Not much of someone, but okay.
And, right. It's somebody. It's not a complete no-name, but that means we're going to draft in the first round. Minnesota now has 2 first-round picks, so we can either trade up one of those picks up higher. All of the mock drafts say we're going to trade with Arizona at 4 or 5 now. I don't know if that's true, but we have 11 and we have 23. So I think we either trade up and get, like Dave has been saying, and we were in agreement the whole time, McCarthy, which is the kid out of Michigan, or we get someone like Bo Nix out of Oregon, which we said that before, or we get best available. I don't know. We need to get someone, and then we can either trade away that pick to get higher and have a second pick still, or we wait and see who's at 11, and then we pick up the best available at 23. We'll have to see. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota.
Dude.
I just know that our new GM from a couple years ago and our head coach, I think our head coach is great. He was the offensive coordinator for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl just a couple years back. But I think they are clearing house, keeping the really good stuff like Justin Jefferson, Harrison Smith. They're locking down all of the really, really good ones that Minnesota fans would be pissed if we lost. And they're finally bringing in their own thing because they had to take over from Mike Zimmer a little bit. So also, Dana, what up?
The Colonel in the comments has showed up. So has Dave. What is up, you guys? How are you? We're glad you're here. Anyway, here's my, now that we got a couple people in there besides Katie, not that we don't count you, Katie. You're valuable.
We count you, Mom.
You're more than a number. You're more than a number, Kate. Anyway, this duo right here, I'm going to say it, okay? Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Are you talking
Mike
Russell
Tomlin,
and Justin or Dan and Dave?
No. Well, shoot, both. But I'm talking Russell and Justin right now. The Steelers graphic that we have up, Mike Tomlin is still the coach out there, has never had a losing season. They pick up 2 big name QBs in the offseason. I'm going to say it right now. The Steelers, here you go. This is my Bo moment for the season. The Steelers will finally have a losing record next season. Yes, with these 2 guys at their
QB
next season. There you go.
Okay.
Bo came out and said, the Lions look like they're going to win the division. We all laughed at him. And then he said they were going to get like 13 wins or something, and we all laughed at him. And I think they did both of those things. It came darn close.
They came close on one of them.
I know they won the division, but they were a game away from the freaking Super Bowl. Anyway, there's my hot take. You heard it. Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season with these 2 guys at the helm. So anyway, let's pitch it to you because there's some news out of the NFL, which is pretty cool about something that's coming up on our screens. We may not have NFL games going on anymore, but the NFL is still bringing us content. You want to tell the people what's coming up?
Yeah, the NFL doesn't stop. As much as it's off season, obviously they're exploding the internet with all of this stuff the last few weeks, but now they are returning to your streaming platforms. If you were on Netflix last year at all and you saw the quarterback series, by the way, have you watched the quarterback series before
I've watched like 1 episode. I loved it. And then I came, like life happened. So I need to, completely after fair. This show, we were talking about this is the start of the weekend. Maybe my next chapter of the weekend needs to be turning that thing on. Although there's some F1 on this weekend. which
That's true. But anyway, I'll pick up
all right.
and keep going.
So yeah. Tell them what's coming up.
So the creators of Quarterback, the show last year, the docuseries that followed Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota through the prior's season.
Yep.
All of that stuff. It was a fantastic docuseries. I loved it. Those creators are back with a new series called Receiver. Now, I don't think they're going to go through the whole thing and be like receiver, running back, offensive line, because if they watch an offensive line show, just be a bunch of dudes eating food and lifting weights. But hey, I'd be there
Kelsey,
for it.
I'd watch it.
That's true. But they are coming out with a receiver series highlighting 5 receiver type people, not all wide receivers in this mix. Instead of just 3 quarterbacks, they are highlighting Devontae Adams of the Las Vegas Raiders. Still weird to say. My boy, Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings.
Who I put into the graphic there. He's blocking his own name, but I edited him into the
Everyone
graphic.
knows who he is at this point. They are also highlighting George Kittle, the tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, along with his teammate Deebo Samuel, who has recently changed his number, actually, in the NFL. And they are also highlighting Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Detroit Lions. So the NFC is getting some love this time, for sure.
Yes, and if you look at, I've got the collaborators from the Post, at least, but these are the people who it's coming from. In the graphic, dude, you see Peyton Manning, Omaha Productions. Dude, everything Peyton touches turns to gold. I'm telling you. So this is going to be good. Except
Chris's Mount Rushmore. Oh, wait, he didn't touch that.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he conveniently left him off. Steelers QBs, meh. Wilson needs to be the backup. Dude, he will be the backup at some point, Dano. And offensive line show would be epic. How many burgers can they? Yeah, I think an offensive line show would be
watch it.
Entertaining for the between game antics. Not so much the practices and the gaming itself, but watching these boys slug beers and eat whatever they eat to maintain that kind of weight has got to be pretty darn entertaining. But hey, that receiver series is going to be pretty awesome. It just says coming soon. I wonder when that's coming out. I don't know
if they have a release date. I would assume it's this year because they have the promo stuff already to go. And they have all of their footage because last season's done.
Yep. The
Super Bowl's over with, so they have at least George Kittle and Deebo Samuel highlights through the last of the year. So I would assume it might come out this summer, is my guess.
Check 287 Orange Barrel reroute. Man, there's a good call blast from the past from Dano. Man, that was fantastic. Wasn't that in a... that was a commercial by Peyton Manning. Check 287 Orange Barrel reroute. Golly, what a pull, Dano. I love it, brother. So glad you're here. By the way, my lovely wife says, hello. She's in the comments as well, so we appreciate you, and it's good to see you, and love you, and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's get to what we're here for, which is Mascotology Round 2, brother. Round 2. This is, you are the owner, originator, creator, whatever, of this whole Mascotology thing. You have created all the graphics for it, with the exception of like what we're looking at right now, which is just the what do you call it? The advertisement. Advertisement.
Yeah, the advertisement. The advertisement.
Yeah, that thing. So anyway, you have created all these graphics. This is more or less your show. You are the one who has done all the polls for it. So you have the data. So when you're ready, I'm turning it over to you, dude. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
Up.
Yeah, so we'll just quickly recap round 1. We don't need to show graphics or anything, but round 1 was extremely fun. I know from my point of view it was, from your point of view it was. Hopefully you guys in the chat will think so and agree with us. The polls went out, and they were a lot closer than I thought on some of them. I misplaced the actual percentages that people won by, but I'm sure I'll find it here in a second because I have a whole pile of papers right here for those that are wondering what the behind the scenes looks like. But some of them are really cool. But before we begin, one thing that I have to announce that was really, really cool And you know,
yeah,
part of it. You know, part of this.
Oh, I only know part.
We put out our polls, and naturally, we're talking about mascots. So what do? I go and I try and tag the people for collaborators. I tag you, obviously, as the creator of the show in general. But I also go and tag the team, and I tag the mascot if they have a page. We have had views from not only NFL players on our show, but we have had views from NFL mascots on this show. We had views from them. We had views from 2 of them. We had views from Sourdough Sam of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And we had views from Toro of the Houston Texans.
Sweet. I did not know that one.
That's awesome. But also, get this. You know how we've been saying, man, it would be great if we just had one thing happen?
Yeah.
These mascots voted on the polls that they were in.
They voted on all the polls.
They voted on all of them. Sourdough Sam voted on all of part 1 for Mascotology round 1. And Toro voted on all of part 2 of Mascotology 1.5. He voted on all of them. And you could tell on the division rivals, he voted against them.
That's outstanding.
It was
that is so cool.
Awesome to see that. That was so awesome.
I say at the beginning of every show, we freak out about all the subscribers and the likes and the comments, and we really do. And then we also follow the views we get. Cam Newton has become one that's been seeing a lot of our stuff. Old boy Lamar, the MVP of the NFL, like consistently throughout the entire season was looking at our stuff. We've had Pac-Man comment on our stuff, and
we did.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And recently, actually, I was talking with Rod Smith.
You told me about that the other day, and I was like, I'm at school right now, so I can't react, but yes!
Yes. We are in talks with Rod Smith right now. Granted, they've gone a little bit quiet. So they're probably over, but you never know. Rod Smith, actually, we had a brief talk, and he agreed to come on the show. He agreed to come on the show.
Cool.
So, and that is the Rod Smith, no joke. And Dan actually just came with the comment.
Yeah,
the Rod Smith yes,
of the Denver Broncos.
The Rod Smith, yes. So I'm hoping that he hasn't just put me on delete or block or something like that, and that he's just a busy guy because he's freaking Rod Smith. But our talks they've gone a little dark.
Cool.
They've gone quiet, but he agreed. He actually said, yeah, dude, I'll come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
So unbelievable.
That's so cool.
Can you imagine that? Can you
if we could actually talk with a former NFL player, I don't know what I would do. We would peak.
Well, we got a current
Bailey
Bernard. Come here, B, so they can see you. No, you gotta hold your head up. They just see your tail.
But she's a St. Bernard. Her head's so heavy.
You can kind of see her. Hi, puppy. You busted down my door. You want to get in your chair?
We love dogs here on Duct Tape Dynasty, if you didn't know.
I have a giant St. Bernard and a beautiful, a German Shepherd that just got groomed today. And hey, get in your chair. Come on.
Dan, that's a good call. Bailey as the mascot of Duct Tape Dynasty.
And Bailey, by the way,
even though our logos are ducks, I think that's a good idea.
Bailey, there's a little leather chair back here that you can, if I move, there you can see her. She does not fit in that leather chair, but she sits in that leather chair, and she loves it, man. Mary tried to get rid of that once upon a time, and I said, no, you can't get rid of that's Bailey's chair. And it is. She sits in there like that. I mean, she busted down the dang they busted down the door, and guess who's busting down the comments right now? Ladies and gentlemen, he hasn't been here for a while, but he's here now. Gil the Goat has returned
Welcome
to
back,
the comments.
brother.
What is up? Man alive, Dan, if there is competition tonight for sarcasm in the comments, there it is. Gil the Goat is either a friend or a relative of Bully. I believe he's a cousin of Bully.
I think he's a cousin. I think so.
But he is one of the most sarcastic commenters out there. Mr. I Love Weed, who we haven't seen in quite a while, was a pretty sarcastic
haven't seen in a long
one.
time. We haven't had Bo on in a while.
But Gil is okay. So here, let's at least read his post. Just here to say, LFG Pat's below, not below, but below. Anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Celtics
Yeah.
rule. Gil for president 2024. Gil the Goat. Never heard of him? Well, you just did, dude. You just did. Gil is in the comments, and he is electric when he's here. Gil, we're glad you're around, brother. We like it when you're here, man. You should come hang out more often, but we're glad you're here. Anyway, so here we are. We're in the mascots. We could potentially have Rod Smith on the show. We don't know. Whatever. Let's talk mascots. 1v16.
I just read Gil's comment, and I can't help but laugh.
See? I told you, Dan. I told you. I told you.
If we're not going to say it, but if it reminds me eerily similar of Celebrity Jeopardy with Sean Connery and Alex Trebek. That's the interaction we're getting right now.
Uh-oh.
But you should stay on Gil and Dan watch while I
I'm just
this.
Here we go. Okay, yeah, let's go. Show.
All right. We'll come back to this
1v16, you go.
Yes, we are now in round 2. We said last time we had the top 4 seeds got to bye. Well, they've come to play. They're here. So we're starting off with our number 1 seed, Blue, from the Indianapolis Colts. Probably the most famous mascot in the league. He is definitely the most out there.
Yeah.
Instagram famous. He's also the most famous for terrorizing and defeating children in football games.
Yes.
I have never seen children cry more than when Blue stiff arms their faces.
He's like Peyton Manning in that Saturday Night Live skit.
Yes.
Back when Saturday Night Live was funny, you know? So, yeah.
Oh, yes. That's exactly what it is. But he is going up against the winner of our round 1 matchup between Poe the Raven and Raider Rusher of we didn't know what the hell that was.
By the way, I'm laughing at the comments. The comments are going very well. But anyway, yeah, so he's going versus Poe the Raven, who fortunately managed to defeat, as you said, Raider Rusher,
because we still don't know what that thing is. I think Tim came in and had probably one of the best analysis things of what that sucker was. And it was like a Mario Kart Funko Pop, and couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poe moved on pretty handily. I think it would have been, I do remember this, it would have been a 100% win for Poe if my fat thumbs didn't hit the wrong damn button.
Go figure.
I accidentally voted for Raider Rusher.
Attaboy.
And I don't know
He got
why.
a sympathy vote. Way to go.
So he moved on. I'm pretty sure it was like 87% or 83% of the vote. He moved on. He's going against Blue. We talked about Poe a little bit, but I'm going to throw it back to you. What are your thoughts on Blue in general, breaking that mascot down? And then what do you think of our matchup right now?
Okay, I'll be honest. Blue is like one of my up there follows on Instagram, along with, George Kittle and those kind of guys. Like Blue is a solid Instagram follow. If you do not follow Blue on Instagram, go do it. I absolutely love Blue. Yes, he looks ridiculous. He is ridiculous. Those red things in his nose are actually those, like the noise makers.
Happy birthday?
That
thing.
They unfold. That thing. Yeah, he's ridiculous, and he pies people in the face. And there's like different versions of him. There's like a blob version of him, and he literally ingests people. It's
he's so out there.
Poe needs a hat like Josh, is what Dan says, by the way. That's a good call.
That might make it half better.
Yeah, and I agree, actually. Yeah. By the way, these are my signature hats for the show. I've got a little hat hanger that I'm going to put in here for all of these hats so I can choose them right at showtime. Anyway, so I absolutely love blue. And so I am completely biased, and even trying to just do a raw evaluation of the ridiculousness of the mascot itself. I mean, I cannot, all I see is the personality. And so
okay.
I can't get past that. So blue absolutely rules. Jeez, but man, yeah. I mean, I give this one 100% to blue. I think Poe the Raven's ridiculous. The only reason he is alive right now, in terms of bracketology, is the fact that he was against Raider Rusher in the first round. That's the only reason.
And Raider
he
Rusher
still
was
is here.
probably.
Yeah.
I think Raider Rusher was the worst one in our draft, or in our entire tournament. I'll say that. I'll pick our infamous Thurper over Raider Rusher.
Dude.
But I gotta say, I agree with you. I would give this to blue. I think blue is entertaining. There's one thing about blue that drives me nuts, though, and it's the fact, and I think Gil said it in the comments. He looks like he works at Chuck E. Cheese, and he scares the hell out of the children. I agree with that, because
he does scare the hell out of children.
Unsettling.
Yeah, he's
His
bizarre.
eyes are so unsettling. But I actually agree with it. Like,
I cannot see past his Instagram account, though. So, sorry, and I know I'm stepping all over you there, but...
No, you're good. I can't see Poe winning this one. In our matchup slide right here, this is probably the best image of Poe you're going to find. But blue, yeah, he air humps stuff in his suit. He just does random things. He's like a rodeo clown for the NFL.
Dude, when the show is over, please, when the show is over, wait till the show is over. Don't do it now. But when the show is over, just YouTube blue Colts mascot. And
oh my God, he does so many random things. There's no way that we can't pick.
Yeah. Anyway, so I will be not devastated when he is eliminated, but I will be bummed out when he goes, whenever that is. And if he wins the whole thing, I'm totally fine with it. Although,
I'd be okay with him making a run.
As the mascot costume and how it ranks amongst the others, I would not.
It's not the best.
No, definitely not. But like I said, I can't see past the Instagram account. This is one of the best mascots in all of sports. Just go look it up. It's fantastic. Right. Follow. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that one.
I agree. I think we're safe. I think the chat was saying it too. They were saying blue. So I think it's safe to say we know who might win. We'll have to see.
Oh my gosh. Dave was Boris the Bull for a year. I forgot about that. Yeah, we had a junior hockey team where we grew up in Montana, and and I mean, it was a huge deal. I mean, better crowds than I've seen at some professional hockey games. Like, it was a massive. The Billings Bulls were a massive deal. And Dave, who is one of our pickers, who is my brother, although he's my brother-in-law, but I say he's my brother. He was Boris the Bull, the mascot, for a year. I forgot about that. Yeah, you want to tell everybody why you're not Boris the Bull anymore, though, Dave? Anyway, moving right along. So number 15 versus number 2.
Yes, we're moving down. Our number 2 seed. This is one I really like. This guy, just looking at him, initial reactions. We have Chomps of the Cleveland Browns going up against Big Red from the Arizona Cardinals. Big Red coming off of a round 1 win over KC Wolf, who is probably an inspiration for a bank robber. We don't know, but you know what? Might as well be. I'll dive into this one first, and then I'll throw it to you. I really like this matchup. We talked about our thoughts on Big Red. I still really like the way this one looks for him. I still like the Cardinal head. I think that still works. I know you had some issues with it, but I still like it. I really like Chomps because that's I think he is in the perfect window of animated reality, where he looks like this could be a real dog, but the grin is perfect and proportionate enough. The eyes are big enough. He looks like a cartoon, but he looks like a cartoon that's like, yeah, we're here to play football. I'm gritty, but he's still kid-friendly. Yeah. I like Chomps. If I were to pick this one, I honestly would pick Chomps as a number 2. Kind of makes sense. They placed it. There are randomizer, disclaimer. If you didn't know this already, the last time we'll say it, all of these seeds had been randomized at the very beginning, and now we're just moving through the placements. I think it did well putting Chomps at number 2. That's my thoughts. I'll throw it to you guys. People in the comments, while you're talking, I'll monitor that. Let us know what you think.
Gil's got one. By the way, we've got 2 for Chomps. Dave says Chomps. Katie says Chomps. So you're saying Chomps. I'll say Chomps as well. So Gil first says, I think bird mascots in general aren't great. Average person finds birds creepy. Okay, fair enough. Chomps looks like he'd get put down for biting your neighbor on the ass. Okay, yes. Yeah,
well, it is late in the evening.
He might get rowdy on a Friday night. You never know. So rumor has it Boris was shotgunning beers during intermission, and that got him fired. So no, it was way better than that, Dano. But yeah, let's go with that one.
They'd probably promote Boris.
And yes, Dave, it is definitely classified. Will remain so. Anyway, okay, my evaluation. Big Red. Who was he against in round 1?
Casey Wolf of the Kansas City Chiefs.
That Casey Wolf one was horrible anyway, and that's tough. I mean, what do you do? Kansas City, some teams just by nature of their who they are, they don't have not a lot they can do with the mascot. Okay, Kansas City Chiefs, we know how sensitive that is right now. So they went with a wolf. They ended up getting a baseball mascot, putting a football T-shirt on it, and calling it. It was stupid. So,
exactly.
So I am, and I'm sorry, I'm talking about Red right now because Red beat the Kansas City Wolf, of which Dave and I may have been responsible somewhat in one random way, or okay, let's be honest, we're not, but we may have caught.
You may have interacted with him,
yeah, or at least interacted with him. He was caught not far from here, actually, from where DTD headquarters is. So that's God, Gil. Anyway, sorry, I was reading the comments there. So Big Red, yeah, I'm glad he got the win versus that. That said, I think it's a little weak of a. I mean, they went all for it for the dome there, and I think it's a pretty decent headpiece on that thing. But he's just wearing a jacket, I guess, underneath his uniform. It's like
a little rough.
Not a great effort. Not great by the. I mean, I think that bird logo, that version of a cardinal that they have for their actual logo is awesome, and I appreciate the fact that they're trying to keep that with this bird thing. But I think you could have made the head wider. I think it's too thin when I look at it. Anyway, going back to Chomps, I think Chomps, I agree with you. I think is just a perfect blend. We talked about Kansas City and the fact that, they have kind of a tough mascot thing because they're the Chiefs. Well, the Browns are the Browns, their color. So what do you do for a mascot? Of course, they a long time ago adopted the dog, but back when the Redskins were the Redskins, they adopted a pig, kind of a thing. You get it. Like, you can make some effort and do some things, even if you get the short end of the stick when it comes to what your team name is, i.e. what your mascot has to be or should be or whatever. You get it. Anyway, I think this is fantastic. I think Chomps is awesome. I agree with you. He's enough of aggressiveness, but he's still, the kids wouldn't be terrified of him. I think he looks cool. He's got it's not even a football jersey on, but you get its football uniform, even though it just says Brown. You get it. I think it looks awesome. I give this one to Chomps as well. Yeah, enough on that. I think that one's pretty easy. That one's easy for me. I think so too. So, although I will say the one for the Cardinals isn't bad, it's just not good.
It's just not as good as its competition this time. It's one of the ones where it drew the short straw.
And I will say the randomizer did a really good job. And I know you just said
They did.
But it did a really good job of getting our numbers 1 through 4. Now, the other ones and the way they ended up, not necessarily great. But that's why it was randomized.
We had some really low seeded numbers for some really cool ones. and some really mid-range numbers for some really, really bad ones.
Yeah. So, but on this next one, I think number 3 was actually pretty cool as well. I think
number 3 is
one
cool
as well, even though people will say it's rigged because you are a Vikings fan, and I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, which, haha, versus who day. Anyway, the cat out of the bag being that number 3 is Victor the Viking versus number 14, who day, the Bengals mascot.
Stupidest name in this Bengal tournament, the mascot tournament. This is the stupidest name. I tore it apart last week. I'm pretty sure our comments did too with Who Day. This is probably our closest matchup of round 2 so far, because these are both actually fairly good. Again, give me an asterisk, call me a homer picker, I don't care. Victor the Viking is awesome because it's one of the better human ones. It has the cartoony dimensions. He has the big chin, the big nose, the big smile, but he has the helmet with the horns, which is an aspect of the Vikings that's fantastic. It's on the football helmet. All the fans, you can see in the background of the picture, the fan is wearing a Viking helmet. He has the mustache, the braids. He looks like he's just Hans and Franz yoked. And like, he's a great one to interact with the community for Minnesota and stuff too. I know that he's very popular around there, and he's great. Who Day isn't bad either. He looks like that's a good tiger head for a family-friendly one. I personally would have gone on a more aggressive angle. He looks like a Tony the Tiger where it's like, I'm going to try sports now, but I don't know if it's what I want to do.
That's what it is. He's Tony the Tiger. He's very Tony the Tiger. Yeah.
They're okay.
Great. Well, they've been pretty good.
But I think this is the closest one. I'm giving the edge to Victor, not because of my bias, but just looking at it. I like the purple. I like the yellow. I think Victor wins this one, but I think it's closer than I hope it is. Personally.
Gil has some comments on those, and maybe you should read those while I give my comments on this. I think Victor the Viking is awesome. I'm not a Vikings fan. I'm a Chargers fan. They don't even have a stinking mascot. Now, a large part of my family, a large part of this show are Vikings fans. Vikings have been a part of my life because of this for quite a while, and I do like the Vikings, I'll admit, and I was really actually kind of bummed to see Kirk go. Anyway.
I was too.
But anyway. But I think Victor the Viking, as far as a mascot, I think it's awesome. And that's just an honest evaluation. Like, even if I wasn't a Vikings, had any association whatsoever, I think it's a good mascot. Now, they're blessed with a pretty cool, they're a Viking. Like, that is
right. That's
Viking
a pretty
is
cool
just
deal.
Pretty awesome. And when it comes to football and being burly and tough, when you talk about being blessed with a mascot to work with, here you go, buddy.
This was it.
A freaking Viking on a field. Yeah. Like, this is awesome. I could see Victor the Viking going pretty far. I think ranking him in the top 4 is solid. I would have done it naturally anyway. We debated whether or not we should, rank them and all that kind of stuff, or let it be random. And we didn't want to bias this in any way, shape, or form. We're letting you guys vote on this. So, anyway, you get it. I like Victor the Viking. I'm not a huge fan of Who Day. I think Who Day's a little soft. I think they could have been a little bit cooler. I think it needs a little bit of work. Granted, I think they have a good palette to work with. They do. A Bengal tiger.
The tiger's a great one to work with.
Yeah, although Tony the Tiger, I think you hit a home run as far as evaluation. I think Tony the Tiger is kind of the feel you get from this. Yeah, it's not that great. So I give this one to Victor the Viking all the way. Although Gil says that both of them stink and he's going to fight Victor next time he sees him. So, and
you better get that on video. I would love to see it.
You know what, Gil, we love to have call outs and then go back and clip the show when they come true. So if you go streaky, like, are they playing against, the Patriots at any point this year? If Gil randomly streaks out there and takes out this mascot, I won't be upset. In fact, I read something, it's probably fake, but it was a guy had actually placed a bet and won $500,000 because he bet that there would be a streaker at the Super Bowl. He was the streaker. Mm-hmm. He won $500,000.
That's a great way to do it. To bet on yourself, if we're being honest. Yeah, that's a great way to do that. Bet on yourself. Shoot, I just made money.
Yeah, he was the streaker. So that money's probably coming back. But anyway, I think that's awesome, man. He got $1,000 fine. I think he placed like a $45,000 bet. Like, it was a chunk of change. And then he went out there, did it, won $500,000. Man. Anyway, give it to Victor the Viking. Let's go. Next up, speaking of, Dave was talking about when he was Boris the Bull, our next matchup, I think, features a bull of sorts. Who's up?
It does. Our next one is our number 4, which is our first appearance of Rampage, the LA Rams mascot. And I was going to say, that is a sweet name for a mascot. Rampage, that's awesome. Versus number 20, Toro, who took down Staley da Bear pretty handily. Not to mention, he actually could vote for himself. He did. I like how we're saying this, how like the mascots are real and all that stuff, and it's just a person. But you know what I mean.
They got Instagram accounts. They're as real as we need them to be. So I think it's so cool. So cool that they voted on it. Toro is not going to like what I have to say as I kind of just take over here. I know you didn't ask me to start this, but I'm going to. I think Rampage not only has an awesome name, but I think the mascot itself is pretty darn awesome. Again, the randomizer did very well with the top 4. I have no issue with this one being in the top 4. I think it's a home run. They got, everything about it. It's human enough, in the fact that we're playing football here. It's got a football uniform on still, appears to have normal hands with receiver gloves. Human hands. So we get it that it's a mascot. It's a person in there, whatever. But it's a ram. It is and again, they're blessed with the fact that they've got a decent palette to work with. A ram, you can't really make it look super mean, but I think they did pretty darn good job of making it look awesome. So I really like Rampage. Yeah. Now, this is a solid matchup because Toro as well is a solid mascot. There's a reason Toro won in round 1. I think Toro got a rather easy matchup. I can't remember who was Toro versus
Staley da Bear.
Yeah. It was a pretty easy matchup in round 1, but I think Toro would have made it through round 1 anyway. Because it's a solid mascot. That being said, I'm giving this one to Rampage, dude. Not just an awesome name, but an awesome mascot altogether. No disrespect to Toro, and thank you for taking part in our survey.
That's a great take. I actually really like that. This one is really, really tough for me, honestly. I love both of them, and this might just be the ag part in me because they're both kind of livestock. Well, Toro for sure. Kind of the ram.
Goat, yeah.
Because they're a bighorn sheep ram on it. But
you get it.
Yes, but this one's tough. I love Toro, but there's something about it, and I didn't like him at first when the team displayed them. But seeing Rampage with those colors, it looks so cool. And it could have been the graphics I found with those pictures, and the colors could have been enhanced, and they just pop. Those colors look so cool. I wish we could put these together.
It's a good color combo. Yeah.
God, I wish we could put these together because I don't know if I can pick.
Really? Okay.
I might lean Toro on this one for me personally, just because I think that one's so cool. but I wish it was
It's a
Toro
solid
with
mascot.
the colors of Rampage.
Yeah.
Even though that battle red is so cool.
Yeah. So, I agree. Both solid mascots. Let's turn to the comments. We've got one from Yo Mama who says Toro Rampage is a cool name. The Rams are just not an intimidating franchise. Trade Rampage to like Raiders. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they were intimidating as a franchise until Aaron Donald retired not too long ago. Couple days
but
ago.
Also, Gil, if you wanted to vote on these, please do stick around. We'll show the place where you can vote on them.
Yeah.
It's about the mascot itself. Don't factor in the team. If we factored in the team, Chomps would have gotten an asterisk because he has Massage Boy.
Yeah,
we're not factoring in the teams here.
By the way, I faded it over. Take a snapshot, screenshot, whatever it is, right here, guys. That bottom one, that one next to the duck that's got the big sky under it, that's dtd.bigskycountry. That's Andrew, this guy, the ag man. That's his Instagram account. That's the official Instagram for the polls and all that stuff. So screenshot this and then go give those a follow. The other ones are obviously the Duct Tape Dynasty stuff, which you found us here on YouTube, but there's the others for TikTok and Instagram. You get it. So
and I gotta mention this too, Gil. You were saying that the Toro has an unfortunate, sorry ass franchise. Not anymore. They don't.
Yeah, dude.
They made a playoff run and they only got better with free agency.
They sure did.
So,
they sure did. That
I don't
Texans
know
team.
what you're.
Watch out. I didn't count them in for anything this year, and they got a lot. I mean, yeah, they got some pieces. They're going to do all right. They got a decent franchise right now. So anyway, number 5 versus 21 is next. You got it?
Yes. Number 5 versus number 21. I've got it. Number 5 is coming back as a winner of his last matchup. Captain Fear sailed on his pirate ship all the way through against Billy Buffalo, sailed right on past him for the dub and the advancement to round 2. And I think he pulled a great competition to, I'm going to say it early, keep it going into round 3. I think Captain Fear keeps going because he's going up against Freddie Falcon from the Atlanta Falcons, who's not bad, but by comparison, Kentucky Fried Falcon, I think, is going to get skewered by the Pirate because the Pirate's probably hungry.
Nice.
That's my opinion. I did the full weird detail analysis there. What do you think, breaking down these two that we have seen both of before? We are now in very familiar territory.
All right, yes. So Captain Fear, let me evaluate him at this point. Get a little more critical. At this point, I would say that costume's a little soft. I get it. I see what they're doing. I don't know. They went a little soft on the costume. It's still a cool costume. It's still a decent mascot. I mean, it's a great mascot, actually. But I think they did a pretty good job on Captain Fear. But I actually go the other way. I think Freddie the Fried Falcon is fantastic. Okay? I think this is a great mascot. His feathers look fried. Man, that's a lot of F's. Freddie the Fried Feathered Falcon. God, stupid. Anyway, I think the Falcon is the better mascot of the two. I do. I like it a lot better. I like the uniform on it. I get it. I just think that Captain Fear is a little bit soft. So I'm giving that one to Freddie the Falcon. Let's turn to the comments. See what these guys.
But again, what a great name with Captain Fear, though. Honestly.
Oh yeah, great job.
Pirate, what a great name.
Looks like a kid's cereal box mascot. Not a bad comment there, Gil. I agree. I'm just salty because
not bad.
Captain Fear. Your mom says Captain Fear. So we've got one for the Falcon, one for Fear. I gave one for the Falcon, one for Fear. So who knows? We'll see where we end up. Yeah, this one could be close. Boy, if it goes 50-50, I wonder what we do. We haven't talked about that scenario.
I hope that doesn't happen.
We haven't talked about that scenario.
It almost did for round 1, part 1. But then a saving last-minute vote came through. So
okay,
it almost happened.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, hey, one of the guys on the next one is one of our voters. for
Yes.
for round 1. So Sourdough Sam here at number 9 going against Steely McBeam at number 8. Two solid person mascots, human mascots. Why don't you give the evaluation here and tell us what you think about these two?
This one's really cool. I do think this one is a little easier than we have been thinking about it now that I really look at it. A Sourdough Sam, I talked about it. We're going to talk about the underdog first, at least I will. I talked about it last time in part 1 of the whole Mascotology series. I think he did the Dallas Cowboys better than the Dallas Cowboys could think about. And they fumbled the bag big time trying to do something like this, and they didn't. I like Sourdough Sam. I really, really do. Steely McBeam, he's a hardworking man. He works at the steel mill. You know, he's working. He's got his collared shirt on. He's got his bib overalls. He looks tough. He looks like a man's man. I mean, you're in Pittsburgh. You can't do much else. But then Sourdough Sam, he's a prospector. He's a minor. It fits the team. I like that one more. I like Sourdough Sam more personally. I'm going to pick him. Still, though, Steely McBeam is solid. I have not really any criticisms of him. I just think Sourdough Sam is a better overall mascot performance, like the whole deal. I think Sourdough Sam's a little bit better, and it could be because of team success, but overall, I think he gets it. I like Sourdough Sam the most out of these two.
Fair enough. And two good mascots, I'll say. By the way, a whole bunch of votes came in for Captain Fear there at the end. So looks like Captain Fear took it as far as the commenters go. But guys, don't forget, go out there and vote. They'll be live here eventually. So not today.
Should
but
go live
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, so Sourdough Sam, by the way, thank you, sir, for voting on our first round, and congratulations on your much deserved first round win. Sourdough Sam is a solid man. Am I nailing this or what? We had Freddy the Fried Falcon. Sour the Sam is solid, man. I'm just feeling it tonight. It's Friday night, baby. Let's go. Anyway, this is a solid mascot. I like it. I agree with everything you had to say. A 49er, there's some cool things you could do with it, and I think this is the exact cool thing you could do with it. That said, I want to see George Kittle as Sourdough Sam for Halloween.
Perfect.
Yeah, I want him dressed up just like that, but it's George Kittle. George Kittle, I think he would be a sick Sourdough Sam for Halloween this year. It's got to happen. Kittle, I know you love vets, brother. Kittle sees our stuff. George Kittle, I know you love vets. I'm a vet, okay? I want to see you as Sourdough Sam this year for Halloween. I think you'd look awesome in that costume.
Absolutely.
You may do it better than Sourdough Sam himself. We should see. Anyway, Jesus, I am in the alliteration business.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Keep
Anyway,
it.
moving right along, Steely McBeam, I will say, as we were doing the evaluation, or as I was watching the slides go by and listening to your analysis, all I could focus on is the fact that Steely McBeam has AJ Hawk's jaw.
Oh my God, he does.
He has the exact
He looks like the Halloween costume
as
that
AJ
McAfee
Hawk
wore when he was making fun of AJ Hawk.
So that said, AJ Hawk needs to be Steely McBeam for Halloween this year because they have the same freaking chin. Can you imagine AJ Hawk in this getup? He would be perfect.
I would
never
be so
wear it
funny
because he's a Packer. But that is AJ Hawk's chin as Steely McBeam. As far as the matchup goes, I think it's a phenomenal matchup. I think their numbers represent them well in that it's 8 versus 9. That said, gosh, I'm 50-50 on this one, man. I'm having a tough time with this one. I'm looking to the comments, the couple Sourdough Sams out there and a Steely McBeam. I'm going Steely. I'm going Steely McBeam.
You're going Steely.
I'm going Steely McBeam.
I'm going Sourdough.
Okay. Okay, we'll see how it ends up. We'll see how it ends up, but I think some awesome analysis there. Now, Gil earlier said that the bird costumes suck. This next matchup features
this
bird
one
costume
does not suck.
that I think is fantastic. So
this one does not suck.
10 versus 26. What do we got?
10 versus 26. This was one of the coolest graphics to make. These are some of the coolest looking mascots that I think the NFL has, because it's bright colors, it's animation, it's all of that put together so well by both of these. It's these two moving on from round 1 victories. Miles, our number 10 seed, narrowly beating Major Tuddy of the Commanders, when that was a solid matchup for round 1. And going against number 26, Blitz, who won a lot closer matchup than we thought against Jackson DeVille. But this is one of the coolest matchups I think we have. I mean, are these teams my personal favorites? No. Obviously, I'm a Vikings fan. We've had our thoughts. I put my bias aside for that. But these two are freaking cool. I love these two.
I agree.
Oh, these are so cool.
I agree.
I think orange is an underrated
mascots.
color, and this green is good here. The team wearing the green all the time, I think that hurts my eyes.
You're talking
about
the
green
fluorescent
here,
green.
Yes, the highlighter fluorescent green.
Yeah.
Here is cool.
Yeah.
On the uniforms is too much. But, God, these are cool. This one's tough.
It is. It is. This is another real close matchup. I think their numbers should be closer, but as we have said many times before, completely random. So 10 versus 26, Blitz versus Miles. I said it in round 1. I think Blitz is the best mascot there is. I think he's just sick. I love the way he looks. He's awesome. I love the way they incorporated the look of the actual Seahawk logo into the head. See how it's wide enough? This is kind of what I was talking about with the Cardinals mascot. Theirs wasn't wide enough. Blitz does it exactly right. Everything is right with this. I think Blitz should win the whole thing. That said, super tough matchup versus Miles, because Miles is a solid, again, blessed with a great palette to work with, in that you're a Bronco. There's a lot you can do there.
Right.
And, Bronco tough, there's so many things. But
Broncos country.
Yeah, let's ride. Oh, so stupid. Anyway, the dude showed up to training camp wearing his own jersey. He got out of his car wearing his own jersey. Anyway, sorry. Oh,
I don't break him that much on show like this.
He's such a tool. Awesome. He's such a tool. Anyway, they're gonna have a losing season. But great mascot. I think Blitz should win. There you go. That's my analysis. I think Blitz is the greatest mascot in the NFL. I think Blitz should win. They're both good mascots. That said, we have a strong Broncos contingent in our fan base who is our voters. So Miles might get the win, and I'm going to be pretty upset when Blitz loses. Blitz is the best mascot in the NFL, bar none. That's my analysis.
This one is tough. For this matchup alone, if anyone watching this could go get like 3 more people to come vote just at random and put the pictures in front of them and say who's better, please do, because that one, we're going to need all the votes we can get, because that one is so tough. I don't even think I could pick a winner. I think I'm leaning Blitz, but either way, a good choice was made either way.
Oh, Dan says Blitz is bottom 10% mascot easily. Dan, you're a fool. You're an absolute fool. May 2nd, he's supposed to be in studio. In studio. Dan the Colonel in the comments. By the way, yes, this is unannounced before. I'm announcing it now. Dan Hall, the Colonel in the comments, will be in studio May 2nd. By the way, I didn't plan on making that announcement, but I just did. And you will be held to account, sir, because Blitz is most certainly not a bottom 10% mascot. Blitz is a top 10% mascot. He is the number 1 mascot in the NFL, bar none, and you're an idiot. So
no way you would rank the Raider mascot
you would not.
Above Blitz.
You are an absolute tool.
Way.
He's trying to get a rise out of us. Don't fall for it. Blitz is the best.
Dan, I got to ask, what team is your team?
He is a Broncos guy. His Broncos family.
that's
Broncos
why.
family, so he's a Broncos guy.
That's
Wes Welker
why.
fan. He's a Texas Tech. He's a...
I respect Texas Tech. I'll go with the Red Raiders.
He's a Red Raider alum, as is his wife, so they are big Patrick Mahomes fans, and anybody who played for Tech, of which Wes Welker, we know we did great things with the Broncos. He also did great things with the Pats and the Dolphins. Anyway, he was a Charger.
True. This is going to be
Chargers
tough.
are idiots, and they dumped him. So Blitz should win. Dan's an idiot. That's all there is to it. Moving along to
You heard it here first, folks.
another pretty sweet bird mascot. As Gil, your analysis or your theory is being, questioned at this point, Gil, if you're still out there in the comments, because number 22 versus 27 brings another bird mascot in that I think is pretty cool, although I think they could have done better.
I think it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. What do we have here? 22 versus 27. Kind of a double mascot there on 27.
It's true. 22 versus 27. This is our last matchup of round 2. So where things are moving a lot faster. Our Mascotology segments are going to get shorter. So we're going to need to find some stuff to talk about with these shows coming up. Or we can just go whole hog and just start randomly talking.
Well, we'll see what the comments do, man. Comments are live tonight.
True.
That's helping out.
That's awesome. This is the one, yes. This, if any of these matchups were to get an asterisk, our infamous asterisk that we do that you were known for amongst each other at least, this would be the matchup to do it because it is technically a 2v1.
Yeah.
It's Gumbo versus Sir Saint coming in at our 27, our underdog. Underdog and the dog.
Ew.
That's funny. That's funny.
Look at him go, folks.
Gumbo and Sir Saint, one saved the other, in my opinion. They also pulled a pretty easy round 1 matchup, in my opinion.
Who'd they have?
Who did they have? Gumbo versus Sir Saint, and Sir Saint versus...
I told you I was going to ask this.
I know, and I had it, and I can't remember who they had.
I can't either.
If anyone in the comments for some reason knows who they had last time, we'll go with that.
Why isn't the Pope the Saints mascot, Dan says?
Dan, that's a great question.
Maybe that's what that dude is. Maybe he's supposed to be a Pope.
I don't know, but again, he looks like, we talked about it, Quagmire. His chin looks like something else. The dog, if Gumbo, which is the dog, was the only mascot and they kind of made him look like Chomps, I think this would be a whole different conversation. This 2-for-1, as nice as it is, as fun as it is to see that there's 2 mascots, as much as it is that you have a Gumbo of your own with Bailey, this is where this one, he stops. The train stops here because it's going against number 22, Swoop, of the Philadelphia Eagles, who I have had no ill will against, especially being a fan of the New Heights podcast. Swoop is really awesome. It's the American emblem of a bald eagle. It's done pretty well. I know we talked about in episodes past, and for viewers watching this, go back and see those episodes of how birds shouldn't go full flipper. They should have, fingers. That's also another reference you'll get. They should have fingers and then the wings. This one kind of goes full wing flipper, but it still works because they don't look scrawny. They look buff. They look ripped. It works. That bald eagle head is really, really, really cool because bald eagles are just cool, man.
Yep.
I think this is the one where Swoop flies on to round 3 and leaves Gumbo and Sir Saint behind. That's my personal opinion. Comments, I want to know what you have to say. I'll read you read the comments as they come out, but please take this one. What do you think?
Dan is saying, what is Gumbo? Looks like an inbred Cajun. Not
That's
a bad
Sir
analysis.
Saint. Gumbo is a Saint Bernard.
Okay,
Gumbo's
so Gumbo is actually the dog, but Sir Saint is the guy. I think Sir Saint
is
now,
probably the...
Now, you can't see it in here because I've got this beard that hides it, but right here where, see how I have this
Sir Saint has a face ass.
See how I have this dark part in my beard? I have a butt chin in there. I have the dimple right there. I think Sir Saint has a butt chin as well, and they really they highlighted that sucker. I think Sir Saint, it's lame. It's just lame. Okay, look, it's lame. Okay, I don't know who he went against and how he got here, but it's lame. the St. Bernard dog does carry them. You saw my St. Bernard, who I am definitely biased towards. So, I'll give him the St. Bernard thing.
That's why.
But
I just pulled it up. I found out who they were going against.
Who were they against?
They were going against Full Flipper. They were going against TD.
They went against, old Flipper.
They went against TD of the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Go watch the old episode. Go look it up.
Go read the comments. Go read the comments.
That's why you'll realize why we say never go Full Flipper.
Go read the comments.
Bailey takes offense to that.
No.
Yep, I saw that one. Maybe that's the case.
Maybe, but anyway.
He has to bring his pet dog everywhere.
Swoop should definitely. God, Dave. Oh, I love it. Swoop should win this one easy. Yes, it's a bald eagle, but it's a cool looking, at least the head part of the mascot is cool looking, and that wins it for me. You got the uniform on. I dig it. I really think they should have gone with hands and done kind of like they did with Blitz with the feathers. You get it coming down the arm. But like you said, I'm going to agree. It's not, they don't totally lose it. This should be an easy win for Swoop. Swoop, another mascot that would benefit from a Dapper hat choice. Yes, I agree. Swoop with an Abraham Lincoln hat. You think that would look good, Dan?
I don't think that would look good. I think Swoop needs an American flag ball cap. Like a NASCAR ball cap.
What about a bandana?
Ooh,
red,
not
white,
bad.
And blue bandana. Flag bandana.
That wouldn't be bad, especially for like the military appreciation
have him come
game.
rolling in on a Harley. Huh? It could work. Anyway, so there you go. We've been going, dude, you believe it? We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. Hour and 15 minutes. So even though we had a shorter show by half, well, kind of. We split the other one into two. So really, this one was as long as the other two, but anyway, we got through it. There's our evaluations. We shall see what will happen in the polls. There we go. On
DTD.BigSkyCountry. It was flashed up earlier, but please
it's up there now.
Take a shot of this again. The bottom one with the cool white and green duck designed by Dave, who's in the comments. He actually designed all of our logos. That is the main spot where the polls are going to happen, is DTD.BigSkyCountry on Instagram. I'm going to work once this show's over getting that stuff ready and have it ready for tomorrow. I'm hoping to post them on Instagram. I will send out texts to our chats letting people know to go vote, but it will be tomorrow when those are released with results concluded on Sunday, so we have them ready to go for round 3 next week.
Yes, which theoretically, now, you said at the beginning of the show, you indicated that you are indeed busy. Are you going to be able to do a show next Friday?
Next Friday, I'm good. It's the Friday after that I'm not. So we're in our Sweet 16 right now. We'll be in our round of 8. Dan? We'll be in our round of 8 next week. That one's fine. Our final 4 will be postponed a week because I am busy. Okay. So we will have to take a week off. We're getting to our final 4.
That's cool. I'll schedule something else, and we'll have something else that week. But we'll try and keep going weekly because, as we said at the beginning of the show, this is like the best part of the week, man. This is so much fun. I love the heck out of this. This show thing is a blast. Even though we're just a bunch of fools. This is so much fun. And it was awesome to see. But not as big of a fool as Dan for thinking Blitz won't win. Oh my gosh. Blitz can suck it, he says. Vote for Miles. Oh, guys, we love you. We really do. We love absolutely every single one of you guys out there in the comments and watching this later on. Like I said at the beginning of the show, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, man. That helps us out tremendously, and we really appreciate it. Hit that like button, all those other things. You guys are the absolute best. We love you. We thank you for hanging out with us. Andrew, any parting words before we get the heck out of here? Everybody enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next week here on DTD. All right. See you guys.